guys think of me? You guys, I do comedy to pay the bills, but serving tables has always been my real passion project in life. I work in a Mexican restaurant, and I ruined a family's graduation dinner the other night. This is how I did it. I went up to the table, and I was like, "Hi, folks. My name's Andrew, and I'm going to be helping you out tonight." And the dad was like, "Hi, Andrew. Our daughter graduated from NKU today with an English degree." And I was like, "Oh my goodness, that is fantastic." You know, I actually happen to have a master's degree in English literature. Can I get you folks started with some chips and salsa? How about an application for the young lady? And they were visibly upset, and they asked to speak with a manager, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, but we only do open interviews on Tuesdays from 2 to 4, so you're gonna have to come back." But they insisted, and I was like, "You know what, this is actually perfect, because my manager happens to have a PhD in interpersonal communications. So I'm gonna send Dr. Guacamole over, and he's gonna sort this whole thing out. Table sides." You guys, I really hope this show goes well tonight. Not because of the recording, it's just if I don't make $20, they're gonna kill my son Pedro. These guys mean business. They I used to work at an Italian restaurant, and I'd have to spiel my whole tables. So I'd go up to them, and I'd be like, "Hi, folks. We specialize in Neapolitan-style pizza here." And there's always one guy that has to interrupt me and correct me. Like, "Excuse me, sir, but do you use San Marzano tomatoes in your sauce?" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Do you use tomatoes from the region of Italy known as San Marzano in your house sauce?" And I'm like, "Guy, I make just enough money to support my crippling alcoholism. So frankly, I don't even understand the question." "Well, I'd ask you for a wine pairing recommendation, but I can see I'd be wasting my time." "Yeah, that wine would pair nicely with any food at any other restaurant that I don't work at. I think you'll really enjoy it at the Chili's down the street." I had a customer one time order a double Captain Morgan and Mellow Yellow. And he looked exactly like however you're imagining him to right now. He was gross. He was a gross guy. I was watching the news at work. It came on. It said, "Breaking news. Charity cornhole tournament in Georgia ends in brawl." Yeah, that's what's supposed to happen at a cornhole tournament in Georgia. That's how they end. That's not a news story. A more newsworthy story would have been like, "Breaking news! Charity cornhole tournament in Georgia ends in actual charity." I'm down on the scene right now, Diane, and I've never seen anything like it. Jim Bob and Skeeter have shaken hands and decided to go their own separate ways. They decided to bury the hatchet over a couple double Captain Morgans and Mellow Yellow. My ex-girlfriend, we used to fight a lot. We used to fight about music a lot, and she really loved this one hit song from the 90s, and it kind of like encapsulated her personality. It was that song that's like, "I'm a bitch, I'm 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 a bitch. I do not feel ashamed. I'm a bitch, I'm a bitch, I'm a bitch, I'm a bitch." Now, I don't want to sound like a broken record up here, but my ex-girlfriend was a bitch. And then I hear that she's been running around town telling people I can't do 10 push-ups. Count them out, go bananas. 1, 2, 3, 10 push-ups. They call me the Spaghetti Man, because my arms are always al dente, baby. Oh, I think I might have pulled my dick on that last one. Oh, dear. I got a personal trainer because my girlfriend's been running around town telling people I can't do 10 push-ups. And I went in for the fitness evaluation. I just messed up the whole joke, you guys, so take that to the bank. I'm sorry, Pedro. Daddy loves you every day. He's going to miss you. It's going to be a rough night for you, but probably going to get pretty drunk. Let's try it again. Forget you heard anything before. Okay, here's it. I went to a personal trainer one time. And I went in, about 20 minutes through the workout, I started to feel sick. Went to the bathroom and I threw up. And I came back out and he's like, all right, Mr. Rudick, we're almost done with the fitness evaluation and we're gonna get started with the workout soon. That wasn't the workout? If that was a fitness evaluation, the results are in. Or rather, all over the ground at LA Fitness in the bathroom. That's gross! Okay, my current girlfriend is very nice. She's unlike my ex. She's Canadian. All the stereotypes you hear about Canadians being nice, 100% true, right? Because she had to go to court for a parking ticket, and she went into the wrong courtroom. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. In Canada, we do things so much differently. If you do something wrong, you just go into a room and you stand in line and there's somebody behind a desk and they ask you one question. They say, well, are you sorry? Are ya? And then you have either two options. You can either plead sorry or not sorry. And nobody in the history of the Canadian court system has ever pled not sorry. It's never been done. Never been done. My dad's here tonight and he wanted me to write a joke about him, so here you go, Papa! I was talking to my dad on the phone the other day and he was eating lunch. I was like, oh, what are you eating, Dad? And he's like, I'm eating a baked chicken breast on gluten-free raisin bread. Why? Like, is it any good? He's like, no, it's terrible. I've eaten it every day for the last 27 years. I'm like, are you at least putting some condiments on it? He's like, nope, enjoying it dry. What kind of quality of life is that? Like, I'd rather be dead than have to eat that every day of my life for the next 27 years. Get this man a sandwich. He's rich too. What are you doing? I was talking about my ex before. She was training to be an EMT, and she had to take all these classes with all these beefy I don't know why I said beefy. All these regular, normal firefighters, and she kept going on about this one guy, Brian. Like, oh, Brian's so great. He saved a family from a burning fire. I was like, so what? I woke up before noon yesterday, paid my water bill in its entirety, and then I watched Game of Thrones season 4 again. I bet you Brian doesn't even know how to log on to his parents' HBO Go account. He's such a freaking idiot. I had my real first aha moment in my relationship. You guys had this? Your aha moment? I walked in on my girlfriend in bed with Brian and I was like, aha! I get it though, he's a rare slab of beef, you know what I mean? My mom's really supportive, as you can probably tell from my posture. And you don't want supportive parents in comedy, right? You need odds to go up against. So I told my mom I wanted to do comedy. She's like, "Oh, you'll be so funny up there. You want Mama to buy you some pens to write your funnies with?" "No, Mom, I'm a server. I'm raining in pens, dog." Like, you know what? Forget it. I'm gonna be a stripper. What do you think about that? "Oh, well, you'll be so cute up there prancing around for all your friendly friends. You want Mama to buy you a sailor's outfit?" "No, God damn it, Mom. You're embarrassing me in front of my girlfriend and Brian. And he's a beefcake, Mom." I had to live in their house for a short period, and things are different when you're 30 and you're fighting with your parents. Because my mom was like, "Andrew, you've been smoking in the house?" And I was like, "Pot? Yeah, dog. I'm blazing up my basement room." She's like, "You can't do that. It's dangerous." "Really, Mom? It's dangerous for me to smoke pot, watch Game of Thrones, and then me and Brian pass out, you know?" "Or is it more dangerous for you to slam a couple bottles of Merlot, watch Fox News for 12 hours, and then fall asleep with the oven on?" She's like, "It's fine. Brian will put out the fire." And I was like, "You know what? You're right." These are. You guys have been awesome. We have an awesome show for you. You guys see the Bengals game today? Woo! Horrible. I'm a big NFL fan, even though I don't want to be. And I was watching the NFL a few years ago. Josh Norman, he's a defensive back for the Washington Redskins. He intercepted a pass, ran over to the sidelines, and did this. "Unsportsmanlike conduct, penalty flag. Using an imaginary bow and arrow." What? If I did a Google image search right now with the term sportsmanlike conduct, the first picture that should pop up is a guy on horseback shooting a bow and arrow. That's what it is. But all the analysts came out and said, "You can't do that because it insinuates a violent motion. It's like shooting a gun." Yeah, it's exactly like shooting a gun. Because there are a lot of drive-by Boeings in my neighborhood. Yeah. A lot of bow and runs on the block that I grew up on. Also, let me remind you fine folks that Josh Norman plays for the Washington Redskins. If anybody is allowed to shoot an imaginary bow and arrow, it should be the guy who plays for the team with the most racist name in the NFL. If he had been wearing a feathered headdress and then tomahawked his wife from the sidelines, he would have gotten a contract extension. Because I don't know if you guys have heard, but the NFL hates women. It's not funny so much as it is just true. So. I'm gonna do one more and then get out of here. You guys, as I was talking about being a server, keep it going for your wait staff. They're working hard for you. Lee is my roommate. Jake's my good friend. Lee needs to make rent this month, otherwise Pedro dies. So tip him well. My son's counting on you. And so stupid. So I used to serve tables in this club, and I was serving on New Year's Eve. And a woman asked me what a frozen drink was. I'm gonna repeat that. A person asked me what a frozen drink was. And I was like, I don't know how to explain the concept of coldness to another grown adult. You know what I mean? I don't know how to do that. It's out of my pay grade. So I went back in the kitchen and I told the headliner, I was like, "Hey man, good luck with that crowd. Somebody just asked me what a frozen drink was." And he kind of laughed about it, and I forgot about the whole thing. And then about 30 minutes later, he's on stage, he's doing his set, and he goes, "You guys seem like a pretty smart crowd, but One of the servers told me that one of you asked what a frozen drink was. And from the opposite end of the club, I locked eyes.
It better be good.
With a furious woman. And she took what I can only describe as the angriest sip of a cherry slushie I've ever seen in my life. I was like, bitch, you better slow down, you're gonna give yourself bronchitis. And then I was just really worried that she was gonna get brain freeze, but I don't think you can get brain freeze if you don't have a brain. Go Bananas, thank you so much!